46 is brought to you by Dennis Hoff for Assembly District 36, a successful businessman who can't be bought, can't be intimidated, and won't sell you out. Paid for by friends of Dennis Hoff. News is also brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, the Cubs win the World Series.
A suspect's identity is released regarding a bomb threat.
And a local doctor sets the story straight. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. And Eunette Gentry. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, November 3rd, 2016. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
The Chicago Cubs won their first World Series championship since 1908, when Ben Zobrist hit a go-ahead double in the 10th inning, beating the Cleveland Indians 8-7 in a thrilling Game 7 delayed by rain early Thursday. The Cubs haven't won a World Series in 108 years. Some believe it was a curse put on the team called the Curse of the Billy Goat, which was supposedly placed on the Chicago Cubs Major League Baseball franchise in 1945 by Billy Goat Tavern owner William Cianis. According to the account in the Chicago Sun of October 7, 1945, the owner of the tavern's goat was turned away at the gate at Wrigley Stadium, and Cianis left the goat tied to a stake in the parking lot and went to the game alone. It was an interesting tale, whether you believe it or not. The country seems to be celebrating in something we have needed for a long time, something to believe in and enjoy. That's what sports do best. We spoke with diehard fans, Dr. Tom Waters and TJ Moore, about their long-awaited victory.
The Cubs won first time in 108 years.
Wow. You're from Chicago?
I'm from Chicago, and I am a Chicago sports fan.
Tell me about these plaques.
I'm also a Cub fan.
Yeah. You have a plaque that says Die Hard Cub Fan Club.
Yes. I received this back in 1953.
1953?
1953. I am a diehard Cub fan.
How do you qualify for that plaque?
Well, I wrote to Ernie Banks. He was a player on the Cubs at that time, and it's also signed by Ernie Banks. And I wanted to show the Cubs that I was a fan.
So did you go to games all the time?
I went to many of the Cub games, but also the White Sox game. I lived on the south side.
Yeah.
So White Sox were on the south side, Cubs were on the north side. So I would travel to the north side just to see the Cubs.
I know that Butch Harper, he grew up in Chicago too. He was a diehard fan too.
Absolutely. And Butch and I became such friends because we're both from Chicago. We understood what was going on, but we were both Cub fans.
He gave you a picture too.
Yes, he did. A Cub, and I just fell in love with it. And he presented that to people that he knew were Cub fans. There were about 8 of us in Pahrump.
Yeah.
Yes, 88 years for the World Series, 108 since they won it.
So tell me what you were like during the game. What happened?
I was watching, heart pounding, especially when the game got tied there in the 8th inning, and stayed up, couldn't stop watching then. And when they got their last 2 runs in the 10th inning, I was really happy. I knew it was done.
Yeah.
And it was great seeing Bill Murray on there, too.
Yeah, Bill Murray was crying, right?
He did, yes.
So you're from the Harry Carey days. I know that I was talking to Dr. Tom Waters a little bit about him. Tell me about that, because I know that your son even met him. Are you from Chicago?
Actually, we were born in Illinois, about an hour from Chicago. And back in around 92 to 94, I was taking the kids to Wrigley Field quite a bit. Yeah. Harry was still around. We got to see him. We saw several good games, and then we also went to a Cubs convention, and we got to meet Harry Carey, Ryan Sandberg, Mark Grace, Steve Buechele, Bob Scanlon.
Wow.
some of the greats from back then, the early 90s.
Super excited day for you.
True blue. Go Cubbies.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office has released the identity of the bomb threat suspect who allegedly attempted to blow up his workplace with the use of a propane tank and a lighter.
23-year-old Jeffrey Von Aust was arrested recently for a bomb threat, attempting to use an explosive device to damage property, assault with a deadly weapon, and under the influence of a controlled substance. It all started around 8:30 on October 23rd in front of Aztec Secrets on the corner of Linda and Wilson Streets. Nye County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the location where they made contact with a male who stated that another man by the name of Jeffrey Von Aust, who was an employee, was inside the building with a propane tank and was threatening to blow up the building. When the deputies entered the facility, they located two males in a physical altercation. One of the males, identified as Jeffrey Von Aust, was observed holding a lighter and trying to ignite the propane tank. Deputies reported that they could smell propane in the facility and that one of the employees had told him that when he entered, he heard the hissing noise from the propane tank. Deputies also reported that Jeffrey Von Aust's heart rate was at 182 beats per minute. He was sweating profusely and he was highly elevated. Von Aust told police that he had smoked methamphetamine 2 days prior to this incident and also smoked marijuana earlier in the day. Von Aust was arrested but first transported to Desert View Hospital to receive treatment on injuries sustained during the altercation. Von Aust's bail has been set at $20,640. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And more news right after this break.